Yeah, hello everyone, Nevernax here, and welcome back to another video. Now, it's been a while since I've uploaded anything or done a cooking video, so yeah. I'm finally have enough have the time to do so. And yeah, today I'm going to be teaching you how to cook cacio e pepe, a Roman pasta dish. Now, the thing I love about the cacio e pepe is it's so simple, somewhat affordable, uh, depending on the cheese, and yeah, despite it being very simple, it's very delicious. Apparently, it translates to cheese pasta. So yeah, I've already got my pasta boiling, the long pasta, in some salt water, and yeah, for the ingredients you'll need salt and pepper, obviously, and while not normally in cacio e pepe, I do like to add chili flakes to it. So yeah, for the sauce, you'll need a bowl of grated cheese. Normally, for true cacio e pepe, the cheese you have to use is pecorino cheese. However, pecorino is hard to find and expensive here in the Philippines. However, according to DW, the video on DW food, and as well as a Italian chef called Vincenzo from Vincenzo's Plate, that if you don't have uh, pecorino, you can use parmigiano, but the taste is gonna be different and it's not gonna be true cacio e pepe. So please understand, and I apologize to any Italians or professional chefs here. Please understand that what may be easy to find and maybe cheap for you is hard to find and costly for others. So yeah, I'm forced to use Parmigiano. Now, the amount of cheese you use depends on will depend on you, and for what you're gonna do is add a teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of pepper, teaspoon of pepper, and as well, and like I said, not normal, but is optional, but I like it. A teaspoon of chili flakes to add a bit of spice to the pasta, because I like spicy pastas. Then just mix it all in together, and yeah. As for the pasta, you're gonna want to cook it until it's almost al dente, almost cooked, which normally takes 11 minutes, 10 or 11 minutes. So on the ninth or 10th minute, just before it's finally cooked, take the pasta out. Take the pasta out. Save some of the pasta water for later. And obviously, you're gonna need a frying pan. You're gonna want to season the frying pan with a few pinches of pepper, because we're going to the pasta and saute and cook the pasta in here for the final step. Anyway, I'll see you in a few minutes once the pasta is al dente. Okay guys, so once your pasta is cooked and al dente, just transfer it to the pan. After you've toasted the pepper. I've put in around 3 pinches of pepper in there. So yeah, just put it all in there. Ugh, I think I've cooked too much pasta. It can barely fit. But whatever. Then immediately add some pasta water for moisture. For moisture. And like I said, we're gonna saute it for a few minutes. In the pan. Then every now and then add a bit more pasta water for the moisture. And then for the sauce, for the cheese-based sauce, get your cheese here, which is here. Then you're gonna add pasta water, not too much. You don't want it to be watery. You want it to be thick and creamy. So yeah, like I said, just enough to make it thick and creamy, not too watery. Then just mix. Add a bit more. Then, then finally you add your cheese sauce. Then finally add your cheese sauce. Add a bit more pasta water for moisture, like I said. Then just keep mixing it. You don't want to make sure the pan doesn't become dry, because if it does, the pasta or the cheese will stick to the pan. Will end up sticking to the pan. Constantly add pasta water, just to make sure, and continue mixing until all of the cheese has been spread out evenly, and mixed perfectly well. Okay. You can tell from the cheese sauce alone it's gonna be good. So yeah, everyone, here's the final result. Nice, rich, and tasty, and and spicy. I know, yes, I know. Not chili flakes aren't exact. The chili flakes are optional, but I highly recommend it. After all, who doesn't like spicy food? So yeah, I highly recommend this. It's easy. It's easy to make. Easy to make and cheap to make. That is, of course, if you have access to pecorino. But yeah, like I said, if you can't find or can't afford pecorino, you can use parmigiano. As it stated, the parmigiano is a good substitute. But if you can use pecorino, I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. So yeah, that's all for today. See you next time. Bye.